Hannah.
And I'm Simon.
And welcome to PolyWaffle,
A new arts variety show by the students at Melbourne Polytechnic.
We're both really excited to be hosting this show and showing you guys what the students here have been up to.
In this episode, we'll be looking at things like how a car can be seen as art, how cosplaying can impact people's lives, and even how to make a pinch pot.
But first up, we're looking at a day in the life of a pastry cook.
Hi, my name's Nancy and I'm a pastry cook and I work from home. I do have a hectic weekend, especially when I have a lot of orders. I can start from 5 o'clock in the morning or sometimes even at 7 o'clock. I start off with writing down all the orders that I have on a piece of paper with the flavours, the sizes, and I also do a bit of a sketching on the final product before I start making them. This is a design for the weekend, a bumblebee Transformers cake for a 6-year-old boy, as requested by his mum. This is a sketch of the cake before commencing the final stages. I started as a pastry cook at the age of 18 as an apprenticeship, then started my own business from home. This July it will be 30 years as a pastry cook. I have always had a passion to bake and decorate cakes as a child with my mum. I design cakes by using different types of baking materials, example cake tins, and coloured fondants. For instance, for the Bumblebee Transformers cake, I will be using yellow, black and some silver. My opinion, pastry cooks are an artist first because I always sketch the designs, and second, I'm a baker. Art can be made out of cake. What motivates me is the expression on the children's faces and adults to see them get excited and cannot wait to see how it turns out. The Bumblebee Transformers cake is now completed.
God, that cake looks great. What do you think, Hannah?
I wish I could take a bite of it right now. It's amazing how she made a cake look like Bumblebee. And amazing to see how much effort goes into the things you see in cake shops.
It was cool to see it from the other side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Next up, we'll be learning how to make a pinch pot.
My name's Marianne Hoon. I'm a ceramic artist and I'm going to teach you how to make a pinch pot. All you need are your hands and a ball of clay. Put your thumb halfway into the ball and cup the clay, turning the clay around as you pinch, as evenly as you can. So don't use your fingertips, use the bits of your fingers that are flat, those flat fingerprint areas, and make your thumb pinch towards the fingers. If you get a little crack on the rim just like this, use a bit of water and sponge. It'll be alright. I'm using porcelain, but it's not the best clay to use for a pinch pot. Now let it sit to dry. That's how you make a pinch pot.
Wow, I might have to try that one when I get home.
Yeah, they definitely made it look easy. I'll be giving it a go later, but I wonder where I can get the materials.
Just make sure you share some of that clay with me, all right?
Of course.
Next, we'll be seeing how cosplaying can impact people's lives.
The moment Neo showed up on screen, I was like, oh, what a cute little cupcake. And then, like, approximately 2 episodes later, she was beating the shit out of someone, and I was like, Psycho Cupcake! And I instantly felt like this deep soul connection to her, and I was like, this is my cupcake.
Why do you think people cosplay?
I think there's a variety of reasons why people want to cosplay. Some people like the challenge of creating an entire outfit out of basically nothing. People find a deep connection with characters and they go, I want to be that person instead of myself, so it presents an opportunity for them to step out of their own shoes for a day. I think it's also a great way to make friends and meet people that you ordinarily wouldn't know. Also too, I think just the amount of creativity and hard work that goes into cosplay uniquely appeals to certain people. Like maybe they don't like to paint or draw, maybe they're no good at writing, but making clothing and making costumes is something that really makes them come alive.
What are you dressed as today?
Catwoman. I'm dressed as Pajama May from Overwatch.
I am dressed as Mrs. Incredible or Helen Parr or Elastigirl, whichever one you know her as.
So I am Mr. Incredible, or Bob Parr.
So today I'm as Deadpool, the greatest character there is.
I'm dressed as Dr. Mercy from Overwatch.
Why do you specifically cosplay?
I cosplay because I enjoy the challenge of it. I really love the characters that I cosplay. I watch a movie or a TV show or read a book and I go, that person reminds me of myself, or that's someone that I'd like to be like. And it presents an opportunity for me to be them for a day and step out of my own shoes, as I said before.
And what does this character mean to you?
She's actually really fun to play, and she's actually really lovely and apologetic and cares about the environment, so she's really such a good person, and I like that about her.
I don't. It's just something I've always loved since I was started reading comic books, and his character is just always. This is not just like a hero thing. It's not like a villain thing. It's just like looks out for himself, and he's always just a great character to work with. Yeah.
Well, I've always wanted to do cosplay, so I got to do it because I thought it would be fun.
This character is probably one of my favorite characters just to play. She's really fun to play. And this isn't an actual skin of hers, this is a modified version that's in the comics. So just really fun. Well, The Incredibles as a movie means a lot to me. It's probably my favorite animated film of all time. It's a really beautiful film about superheroes and family values, and I don't know, Helen is just an amazing character. She is powerful and does everything at once, and she is hilarious at the same time, so yeah.
I watched this when I was probably about 16, 17 the first time through, and I probably watched it about 10 times the first time I saw it, and I just loved the character of Mr. Incredible. I thought he was awesome, and as I've sort of grown up and watched it over and over again, he's just become a much deeper character to me, so he's brilliant. I love him.
It's amazing to see just how much work and passion goes into recreating costumes from pop culture.
It's obvious that to a lot of those people, it's more than just a costume or a character.
No doubt about that. Coming up after the break, our third host and inside man Dan will be discussing what counts as art.
And we'll see how yoga and meditation can help an actor grow, before moving on to discussing whether or not old cars could be considered art. Don't miss it.
And we're back.
Thanks for tuning back in. We've still got a lot of really cool stuff to show you guys, so make sure to stick around.
Yeah, coming up now is a segment we like to call Is This Art? With our inside man Dan, in which he discusses what really is and isn't art. Check it out.
Ladies and gents, welcome to Is This Art, the part of the show where we'll examine various mediums of art and really drill down and decide if they're art. I'm Dan, and today I'm joined by PolyWaffle's guest performer, James Leet. Hey man.
How you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Pretty good.
So you do a few things, which is why it's really great that you're here. You play guitar,
Yep.
You sing, you act, you vape. Is there anything else I've missed?
I dabble in the French horn. I love to expand my horizons.
Nice, a classical background as well. You're
Yep.
a man of culture, so
Yep.
you're perfect
Yep.
for this. Real quick, we're just going to go through a couple types of art. You can help me figure out if they're art. First
Sure.
cab off the rank, your wheelhouse, music.
Definitely a performer like that.
Painting.
Yep, 100%.
Kanye West.
No, not at all.
Well, we're going to have to agree to disagree there. Erotic fan fiction.
Look, I'm going to say yes.
And I'm glad you did, because something you may not know about me is that I was diagnosed as being severely artistic at a young age, and I've prepared a piece that I'd really like to get your notes on as a fellow artist.
Sure.
It's about two super brothers who are plumbers by trade, named Mario and Luigi, And after a long day of exploring pipes and adventuring through the subterranean mushroom kingdom, they decide they want to explore each other's bodies and adventure with society's conventional views on brotherly love. So, you know, some taboos are smashed, lines are crossed, and mustaches quiver. And I think, you know, as a fellow artist, I'd really just like to get your input. We don't have a lot of time, so we won't get into it now, but maybe you want to write a song about it or adapt it into a musical.
Can do.
That is all that we're going to look at today. Catch James later in the show, though, performing his original song, Worship You. And, you know, I have a feeling we'll be seeing him on this segment again pretty soon as well. So thanks, guys. See you later.
Thanks for that, Dan. That was informative.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
I think we can move on to the next segment, personal development for artists. This episode, actor Emily Thomas will be discussing how yoga and meditation help her acting.
My name's Emily Thomas, and I'm very excited to be sharing with you in this documentary the parallels between my passions, acting, yoga and meditation. Well, I decided to be an actor. I think it was something that happened when I was quite young, when I was around, 14, 15 years old, and I wasn't really good in visual art classes, but I was good at things like English and drama, and I think the thing was that I was good at communicating. I was good at connecting with other people. That was my way of being expressive and artistic. When acting is at its best, you are in, I think, what positive psychologists call flow. They say that when you're in flow, there is no doubt about what you're doing. You're completely invested in the moment. You are completely present. And I think that's the same thing with yoga. With the practice, there is it's this thinking bigger, that when you make these movements, you're not just making movements that are you're making movements that have been taught for thousands of years, and making movements that have a history in deities and in gods. The emotions that we experience and the things that we experience are actually universal, that we all experience them. I think that when we meditate, we become more aware of the person we really are rather than the person that we would like to be.
She really did show us a lot of emotion with that, didn't she?
Yoga clearly means a lot to her, and it really helps her with her acting.
But now for something completely different. Next, we're going to be interviewing car restorer Max Hayes about whether old cars can be considered a new form of art.
To me, a beautiful car is all about symmetry. And I don't know if you know about the golden ratio or the golden mean. It's a certain formula that everything in nature, like the conch shell, the frond from a fern, is the perfect symmetrical shape. Even Da Vinci, when he did the man thing, it was all about the formula of nature and everything in its perfection. And the same formula is used for measuring a perfect face or the human body or anything in nature. And they use the same formula for designing cars. When you see that formula in a car, it sometimes just stands out. It's just certain cars have a perfect shape. If you go to purchase a piece of art, your emotions might like that item and stuff like that, but I think in cars and motor vehicles, it's more emotion in buying a certain old car. New cars, it's just a choice on reliability, but old cars, and it either an emotional tie to your parents or your grandparents or anything like that that kind of harks back to feelings, I suppose, and emotion. I get a lot of people that don't really realise how much it costs and how long it can take to restore a car. They see these programs on TV that take 7 days, and I know for a fact that they don't take 7 days. It's all edited down. And it takes a lot longer and a lot more dedication, and what I do is try to keep my filler and that to a very minimum and everything kind of a bare metal look, it takes a long time and a lot of money, and people don't realise that. Well, you can probably see over my shoulder a Porsche that's pretty much going to be a bones out restoration. There's not much left of it, but when we're talking about a $200,000 car, it's worth restoring because it'll probably cost close to $100,000 and 1,000 hours to do it. So can be quite a long, drawn out, expensive exercise. So a lot of cars, they can take 5 years, if not more. I like Art Deco stuff, and I like 1930s vehicle, but they had some amazing sports cars, and the designs, even down to the dashboard and the instruments and stuff like that. It's just, an artist must have been designing them because it's just a beautiful thing to look at. I mean, you can see over in the museums worldwide now, they're actually having car shows in them because they're having the vehicles as a form of art, like the Bugattis and Duesenbergs, and you know, the things that stand the test of time.
You know, I don't think I've ever thought of old cars as a form of artwork before. Have you?
No, never. I'm not even sure I do now, but at least I can respect them a little more.
Definitely. I mean, Max Hayes obviously put a lot of thought into the idea of cars as art, and he puts a lot of effort into restoring those old cars, just like an artist might with their artwork.
Yeah, there's no doubting that. 1,000 hours on just one car is a long time to be spending on just one project.
Absolutely. After the break, tattoo artist Audie will be telling us about his favourite place, and James Leet will be performing his song called Worship You. Make sure you don't miss it.
Welcome back to the last section of our pilot episode of PolyWaffle. Have you been enjoying it, Hannah?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not over yet. There's still more to come.
Yeah, she's right about that. Up next, Queensland tattoo artist Audie will take us to his favourite place.
Audie Storm is my name. I'm a tattooist by trade, and then I also do graphic design as well as drawing and public spaces, art.
What is the thing that you enjoy the most about your art form?
Being able to just do my own kind of art as well as help people with their ideas. And I like drawing in the shop here, is where I do most of my art, and then also get inspiration from like the pub. How did I get into tattooing? I started, left school, and then I was like, what do I want to do? I really love art, but it wasn't really a thing that I thought I could do straight out of school. I just start painting houses with my old boy, and then I knew a fella that worked here and he tattooed me. So then I was like, oh yeah, maybe I can get in the door here. And then he was like, maybe in 6 months I'll be looking for like a new apprentice. And I was like, all right. And then he called me up like a couple months later. And now I've been doing it for about 7 years.
I think it's awesome that he managed to find a place where he can express himself and his passion and art form.
Not only that, but it doubles up as his job. Dream job, am I right?
Maybe not as a tattoo artist, but I would love to work somewhere that I love that much.
You know what, Hannah? I think we've run out of segments for this week.
A lot of cool stuff has happened this episode. What was your favourite?
Personally, I like the cake because, as you know me, I haven't eaten since this morning.
Oh, God.
No, but in all seriousness, I did really like the segment with the car because it just goes to show with enough creativity and effort, anything can be artistic form.
I still think my favourite was definitely Audie and the way he managed to meld his passion into a career.
Yeah,
it's inspiring.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But Hannah, I think we should sign off for now.
Unfortunately, I do think it's that time of the show. So to take us away, James Leet will be performing his song, Worship You. Until next time, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Simon.
And thank you for watching PolyWaffle. Take it away, James.
When I I can't find the key, and it's so easy to perceive fear in your eyes. Faced by roads I cannot drive, crumbled up and torn inside. When you look at me, it makes me worship you. Worship you when you gaze at me. It makes me treasure you. Treasure you. Dividing paths we must not take, so I can kiss you before you wake, before you wake. Get too much to let you go. In the winter we watch it snow, watch it snow. When you look at me, worship you when you gaze at me. It makes me treasure you, treasure you. When you look at me, it makes me when you gaze at me, it makes me